documentary of never giving up. Yeah, as you can see, I got the stun attack here. We've broken the yellow meter up. Then that is key, is to get that stun attack. But because we are so underleveled, look how bad the damage is. If it was higher, or if we had good gear, we would have been able to already finish these fights off. So when you actually look how the scaling is, you can see how hard it is, because you have to be perfect.
A storm is brewing. What are we doing?
Hey there peeps, what is going on? It's Miss C.O.Z here, and we are back with, yes, you voted the Zealot boss fight. So we're still 40 levels under-leveled with KENDALL, which was my second Zealot face-off. And yeah, obviously I was more focused and in optimum environment off stream, so I got on way faster as well. The first one, took a while, at least a few hours to learn, but it was a really hard fight. So as usual, what you want to do is you want to get them on the 2 parry, so when they do the red attacks, you kind of want to back away mid-range and just bait those attacks. Normally it's better to parry on the second sword slash as well. But yeah, these Zealot fights are absolutely crazy. I've been having a blast with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Last week we took down the first Lynx in the 2 Lynx boss fight, which is clearly a really high level boss fight. Yes, I can try out things for a while under leveled, as you can see in these videos. With this one, it was still a really hard fight. Don't get me wrong, it did take a while, but it did not take an hour, and it did not even take a few hours. So there was the improvement there. These fights are not recommended. You know, A.C Valhalla and A.C Odyssey in particular, you know, they do reward you having like really good loot. You're supposed to level up and stuff. It's just that since I have Saturdays and I just mainly complete the story on there, and that's the only time I actually play this game, because I'm in between other games as well, and I have to prioritize other games to get the games out too. Some days I don't even get to play because I'm really busy, or just simply too tired from work. Then you know, it's gonna be, I'm gonna be choosing the most exciting things to do. So yeah, we had a go. We've beaten the legendary elk as well. Another really good thing for this fight is to use your arrows. What I mean is you need to keep your arrows, break the guards, always aim for the head or for the weak points. As you can see, I had practice. Any abilities I had, I was breaking the guard too. I was 40 levels lower than KENDALL, so obviously it wasn't as difficult as perhaps the Zealot fight, which I took down a level 30 on a level 90 and started practicing on level 25 as well. That was absolutely crazy. By the time I learned to perfection, I still had to learn the patterns and stuff. It was still a really hard fight, don't get me wrong, but I could use that method. You know, it was very similar. The Zealot moveset was pretty similar. The only difference here with KENDALL was that instead of chucking the explosives and landmines that you stepped over, which killed me more times than I can remember with the first Red Wilder fight, which is what made it such a fascinating challenge for me as we crowded around and you saw that documentary of never giving up. Yeah, as you can see, I got the stun attack here. We've broken the yellow meter up. Then that is key, is to get that stun attack. But because we are so underleveled, look how bad the damage is. If it was higher, or if we had good gear, we would have been able to already finish these fights off. So when you actually look how the scaling is, you can see how hard it is, because you have to be perfect, especially if an average player, you know. It's my first time playing A.C Valhalla, so I'm getting used to the new mechanics and stuff. The same way I had to get used to A.C Origins, and the same way that I had to get used to A.C Odyssey. I think A.C Odyssey was the hardest though, because I had no prior exposure to that newer system of A.C games before, other than Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think A.C Mirage was really different as well. So she chucks these crazy things that block your sight, but I just back away, because as soon as she does that, she starts stabbing and thrusting really crazily these insane red attacks. Obviously her shield, you can't break through. The guard is crazy. But yeah, what I did is, again, stay close and mid-range when she does those crazy things, parry on the second swipe, slowly lower the guard. It wasn't ideal because I did run out of arrows and she did snag me a lot of the times. So if there are rations around, make sure you collect them. Always go prepared into this fight. It was tricky. The last sections of these fights are the worst, because the enemy aggros, and obviously you see more red attacks coming, these thrusts and stuff, and if you get hit, you sometimes get caught within a buffer. I got caught so much, so it was pretty bad. But then again, I distance away. As soon as she chucks that crazy smoke screen or whatever, I just back the hell away, because I know she's going to be going aggro on those thrusts in the last stage of her fight. So yeah, a little bit sloppy on my part here, but what I would recommend, even though it's a little hard, especially since I am not like a master markswoman or anything. I'm pretty good with a bow, but yeah, I do waste a lot of time and procrastinate as well. That's something I'm trying to get better at, and I have got better at, improving throughout my gaming journey, but I still do it a lot. You know, I still don't quite get it done. It still takes a little bit more trial and error than it should, but you know, That's how it is. We get it anyway. Yeah, I've also taken down another legendary animal, so I've been enjoying the legendary animal fights. Last week we took down the first young Lynx, but they were both level 340 bosses. So I think they were really hard, and I didn't expect to be either. After I realized how bad my gear was, to the point where I could barely do any DPS. However, we beat the first young Lynx and formed a strategy, and that's what it's all about. It's about trying. We've also beat the legendary elk and a few other really minor boss fights such as Kurtov and Leofrith as well, and I think we're going to be coming across more of those fights as well. Those were super easy though, and obviously the tutorial boss fight, yeah, there was a little bit of teething problems, but we got them eventually when we figured out how to parry. It's the Zealot fight that really taught me how to become really good at parrying the general enemies. These are the tests of skill, and if you decide to do them underleveled, again, I don't recommend it, but if you want a challenge or you like a challenge, you know, have fun, because it's pretty good. Obviously you can use abilities if you have abilities, etc., or the bow. Again, I ran out of arrows over here, so yes, even though I was using arrows previously in the last sections, I highly recommend seeing if you can save arrows for the last portion of the fight. Again, I failed on micromanagement and I had to manage, but thank God, because I had enough practice with learning the attack patterns and reteaching myself this boss fight, and then using the same strategy, you know, just parrying. I didn't mess up on the parries. I was pretty used to it because the moveset on KENDALL was the same. I haven't been up against any other Zealots. This is sort of like a stink bomb Zealot, so everything that she chucks blocks your vision. And as you can see, I sort of run away from the fight as well. You are allowed to move around, and here's a tip: as long as you can see the icon of the Zealot, they won't regenerate their health. This is something that I learned from the Red Wilder fight too. So yeah, we're learning a lot of things, and I've taken down the Black Shulk. So I took down the Black Shulk. What I did is, after the Lynx fight, I thought, is there anything else that I can actually beat, but maybe is not as tricky, or for instance, has like not 2 boss health bars? Something that is still extremely difficult to do at my level. You know, I'm only like level 50. I've just hit level 60 in my actual A.C Valhalla playthrough, so we'll be doing East Anglia this week. But I found a legendary beast called the Black Shulk, and I found it, and I actually managed to beat it 3 times. Yes, it was really hard, but I beat it 3 times just about with my bad gear, and I was checking it to see if I could level up as well. No, I am lacking a little bit on resources, so in the short time I had, instead of, yes, as you guessed it, grinding, and you should grind. If I get more time, I definitely will look into the specifics of grinding and stuff, because I am a little bit foggy when it comes to that. I only know the basics of how to maybe level it up via ingots, but as for more higher tier gear, especially with this axe and stuff, no, I really need to look into how to capitalize on micromanagement. It's not my strength. I don't really enjoy it, but I did enjoy the concept of learning these fights too. I mean, we could take on the level with a bit of patience. I don't mind struggling a bit to learn it to only the perfection. That's how you master things. That's the whole point of it. It's slow and systematic. If you get everything in one day, then you didn't really work. And I worked my wins quite well and end up with a great streak as well as a result. So I'm waiting over here again. I parry once more, and I'm sort of just staying mid to close range. I did get a bit greedy here, but yeah, if you have any abilities to break the guard, again, once you break the guard using the ability, in that case it's the melee one too, then just back away and get hit in. At this point she was clouding up my vision. As you can see, I did not have any arrows, so I had to improvise. But again, as I say, in phase 2 or in the second stage of the fight, really have arrows can really trivialize this fight, because you can go and aim for the head, you can go bring that bar down. Again, as I know with AC Valhalla, there's only one stun attack per fight, so you should save it. Or if you can potentially last out the fight, if you're more skilled than me, you should save your stun attack for the last stage. As I said, it gets really hard. When she goes aggro, she also like gets a bit of a poison build up of attack too. Ooh, she messed me up. And as you can see, this is why I kept dying, even though I had almost mastered the fight, as in I was doing everything. Even though the strategy and method does work, it is hard, and it depends on how perfect you are with it and stuff. And yes, I hesitate a lot, so as a result, it still took a little bit of trial and error, but we got there with the same strategy. It's a strategy you can use. Come with a full bow, keep your shield there, only parry on the 2 strokes attacks, preferably the second stroke once the combo is finished. As soon as you've done that, break the guard. Work towards breaking the guard in phase 1 to get that stun attack. Once you've done that stun attack, ideally save arrows. If you don't have arrows, as you can see within over here, there's always a contingency. You can ideally, if you get messed up, run away from the fight, as long as you keep the boss within your icon. So what I mean is, I tested this with Red Wilder. Remember, we can literally run away, collect things around, always look for rash as well. Obviously it depends on what difficult you're on. I'm on the hard, but if you're doing it on very hard or or nightmare, or you're just Superman. Because even with me, I might have done it on very hard instead, but because I'm streaming it, I'm like, okay, I want at least a little bit of a relaxed experience. Since we're tackling everything often under leveled and when we're not supposed to anyway, it is going to be extremely hard, so then I don't need a grindier health bar. But as you can see, I get another attack there. A great sneak attack there. You can always sneak back up on the enemy. Just be careful, I got caught there. But yeah, that is pretty much Kendall, and I hope you enjoyed that fight too. I was gonna say I've taken down the black shark and recorded it. I beat it 3 times, and I was thinking, should I rebeat this boss fight on stream? But it was a hard fight, I'm not gonna lie. With the gear that I had to use all of my arrows and everything. I eventually learned it where I consistently beat it, and I have it recorded and reloaded the save, so I practiced it. But I'd rather do it under optimum conditions, and where I can walk you through the fight anyway if you want to try it too. So that is pretty much a summary of the fight and what you should do. This is the bit where it is what you should not do, because I ran out of arrows, and the Zealot did get me again just to the last minute, and it kept getting me at the last minute as well. It's hilarious. Throughout this bit, it took another minutes at least, because I literally had no health. So again, I backed away from the fight, and again, you should do this if you're trying to fight Zealots or at an extremely low level and as insane as me, especially with crap gear as well. I haven't found all the abilities or brush with death, and I was looking up at Reddits of this fight, and it just pisses people off even on easy and normal difficulties. So it was a pretty I think it's the hardest thing in the game so far that I can take on, purely for the sake of taking on something on something difficult, and I really enjoyed it. Again, as I said, with the Lynx fight, I managed to take down 1 Lynx, but I will not go on to 2 Lynxes, because there is a point where there's a challenge, a few hours, I don't mind, but I can see that is clearly actually a heads up that maybe I should level up my gear at least a little bit and come back to these fights. These are the legendary animals. We have taken down another one already that took ages as well. That's when I realized, the black shark that I mentioned earlier being 3 times. In doing that, I realized, the reason why I decided to have a go and find it before, just randomly doing it on a stream, is because I wanted to gauge, is it really my gear? And it was really my gear. It was a singular boss fight, right? It's this dog that goes around and attacks. And if you guys vote it as the next video, you can see how that goes, and I'll do a similar breakdown as I did with the Zealot over here, which was an extremely long fight. It was almost 15 minutes to take down. Again, dodging literally by the nick of my skin. I knew this fight so well. That's how I even managed to survive and get out of this situation. Again, the enemy also throws spears, and then she has a poison build up. So in a way, she's more powerful than the other one, but I think the first Zealot is probably going to be the hardest if you're deciding to take on them ridiculously underleveled. It's not something that is recommended. It was just something that I wanted to do for fun. But yeah, it was really fun to master. It was basically a pure test of skill. You can go in there with a method. I created a method that really helped me out, parrying on the 2 strokes again, and then whittling, as you can look, parrying on the 2nd stroke to lower the guard down. As you can see, if I had enough damage, I would have already finished him off. This is why gear is crucial. That Lynx fight was too long. I took down the first phase, or essentially the first enemy, but it took ages, and I had ran out of arrows by the time I even got to the 2nd phase. I was so surprised that on level 60 I actually managed to hit the 2nd phase. These are like 2 level 103 power level 340 bosses. Again, I know I keep saying level, but power is sort of the similar to power, similar to level. Power is sort of the indication of I suppose the how difficult a boss could be as well within this game. So it's power level, power, it's pretty interchangeable to me. There's obviously the standard level in Assassin's Creed. By the way, I do know that, for those who are wondering why do I keep saying a power level, I know they're 2 different things. It's just that I refer to it as power colloquially. But yeah, we took down this boss in the end, and the black shark will be coming as well. As I said, beat it 3 times and drilled on it, and realized obviously under optimum conditions it's just far better to just take it down off stream as well. It was still extremely long. I need to come back and actually use my gear.